Across city squares and quiet parks, statues of stone and bronze stand as silent sentinels. They're more than decorations. They're storytellers, chosen not just for who they depict, but for where and how they stand. The direction a statue faces is rarely random. It's a deliberate choice rooted in centuries of tradition and symbolism. Long before written history, people carved their stories in stone and aligned them with the heavens. The orientation of a monument can reveal what a culture valued, feared, or hoped for. Aligning statues with the rising sun or the stars embedded them in a universal narrative. To understand this silent language is to unlock a hidden layer of meaning in public art. For our ancestors, direction was tied to survival, the seasons, and the divine. The east, where the sun rises, symbolized renewal and hope. Many cultures place their most important figures facing east, toward the promise of a new day. As we explore, let's look at these statues with fresh eyes, asking not just who they represent, but where they're looking, and why. The answers reveal a tapestry of belief, weaving together astronomy, religion, politics, and art. This is the silent yet profound language of statues. The sun's daily rise has shaped human life and imagination for millennia. Each dawn is a symbol of rebirth and hope, a victory of light over darkness. That's why so many statues face east, to align with the sunrise and embody these enduring ideals. In many cultures, the east means beginnings and creation. An east-facing statue suggests its subject's influence is continually renewed, their wisdom brought to light for every generation. The orientation transforms a static monument into a living symbol of inspiration. In spiritual traditions, light is a metaphor for knowledge and truth. A statue facing east is positioned to receive this illumination, inviting us to share in that enlightenment. Sculptors weren't just picking a scenic view, they were tapping into humanity's oldest, most powerful symbol. The eastward gaze is a declaration. The values embodied by the statue are as enduring as the sunrise. It's a silent promise that the legacy will continue to inspire day after day. Nowhere is the eastward gaze more powerful than in ancient Egypt. The sun god Ra's journey across the sky was the foundation of Egyptian belief. Rebirth each morning in the east. The great Sphinx of Giza, with its lion's body and king's head, has faced east for over 4,500 years, guarding the horizon for Ra's return. Its orientation was a profound statement, a guardian, channeling divine power to ensure the pharaoh's eternal life. Temples like Karnak and Abu Simbel were also aligned with the sun, engineered so that dawn's rays would illuminate their sanctuaries on sacred days. By aligning statues and temples with the east, Egyptians locked their civilization into the eternal cycle of the cosmos. The eastward gaze was a gaze into eternity, a confident assertion that their gods and culture would endure, reborn with every sunrise. Today, these ancient statues connect us to a civilization that saw its destiny in the stars and its hope in every dawn. The eastward gaze carries deep meaning in Buddhism as well. Tradition holds that the Buddha faced east beneath the Bodhi tree, achieving enlightenment with the rising morning star. Statues of the Buddha facing east recall this moment of awakening, symbolizing triumph over ignorance and the dawn of wisdom. This orientation invites followers to turn their minds toward enlightenment, away from darkness and toward compassion. At Borobudur in Indonesia, dozens of Buddhas face the sunrise, their serene faces illuminated by dawn, a breathtaking symbol of wisdom's arrival. Whether in grand temples or on personal altars, the eastward Buddha is a guidepost for meditation and clarity. It's a silent sermon in stone. As the sun rises to dispel shadows, so can wisdom rise to dispel ignorance. The symbolism of the eastward gaze shaped Western monuments too. In the U.S., the Lincoln Memorial's eastward orientation is no accident. Lincoln looks down the National Mall toward the Capitol, watching over the nation's heart. His gaze is a perpetual vigil, facing the dawn and the future of the Union he preserved. The rising sun illuminates his face, a daily reaffirmation of hope and renewal after the darkness of civil war. This orientation creates a dialogue between monuments, connecting Lincoln to Washington and the nation's founding ideals. In Russia, the bronze horseman statue of Peter the Great faces east toward the Neva River, symbolizing ambition and the dawn of a new era. His horse rears toward the future, embodying the drive to overcome obstacles. In both old and new worlds, the eastward gaze casts leaders as visionaries, not relics, forever facing the dawn of their nation's future. Visitors are invited to share this perspective, contemplating the journey and promise of their country. The tradition endures. Eastward orientation marks leaders as timeless beacons of hope. It's a visual reminder that the story of a nation is always unfolding toward the light. Today, placing a statue is a blend of ancient symbolism and modern practicality. Artists and planners still use orientation to give monuments deeper meaning, even as they consider traffic, architecture, and photography. An east-facing statue might look out over the ocean or a cityscape, connecting to trade, exploration, or a new era. The morning sun brings statues to life, making them dynamic features of urban landscapes. Orientation can also be a political or social statement, facing east to symbolize new beginnings or away from a painful past. Modern sculptors use direction as commentary, engaging with history and values. The tradition is alive, constantly reinterpreted to tell today's stories. Orienting a statue east is as much about art as symbolism. Sculptors use the morning sun as a natural spotlight, revealing features with warmth and clarity. Dawn's soft light brings stone faces to life, accentuating details and emotion. As the sun moves, the statue transforms. Shadows shift, creating a living clock that marks the passage of time. This dynamic interplay encourages visitors to return, experiencing the monument anew at different hours. The artist choreographs a daily performance, with the sun as lead actor and the statue as silent star. The emotional tone is set by light, peace and hope at dawn, drama at sunset. By facing east, creators ensure their work inspires and connects every single day. The orientation of statues is a deliberate, meaningful choice, a thread connecting us to ancient traditions. The eastward gaze is a symbol of hope, renewal, and faith in the future shared across cultures and centuries. When we stand before an east-facing monument, we join a timeless ritual, sharing the same perspective as the figure. This shared gaze bridges centuries, transforming monuments from relics into living presences. Direction helps tell the statue's story of beginnings, of looking forward, of overcoming darkness. In a noisy world, these silent cues invite us to pause and reflect on the forces that shape our lives. Next time you see a statue, notice its gaze. If it faces east, you're witnessing a tradition as old as civilization. In their steadfast gaze, statues invite us to look toward the light and embrace the promise of a new dawn.